Let's go.
Yo, YouTube! Welcome back. It's another Den Den Boys video. My name's Garth, I'm one half of the Den Den Boys. And in this video, today, we're going to do a quick little review / early impressions of this bad boy, the PlayStation Portal. Nice picture there. There we go. The PlayStation Portal. This dropped in on Friday in Australia, and I've had the weekend to play it, get my hands on it, and give you some impressions about whether this system is any good. So, let's get started. Alright, so what you're going to see in the video, I'm going to break it down into the hardware, so the actual features of the system, and then I'm also going to just talk about the functionality. This isn't a tech review, we're not tech heads, we're gamers, and at the end of the day, we just do videos about whether this is a good piece of gaming tech and whether it's actually worth your money. So that's how we're going to break it down. All right, so let's get started with the hardware. So in terms of the first thing we're going to talk about, that is the controllers. It looks like someone has just shot this system in half, or a PS5 controller in half, and whacked a screen in the middle, and that's pretty much it. The controllers are exactly like a PS5 controller. You've got the haptic feedback, you've got the responsive triggers. They have reduced the size of the analog stick, so they're both a little bit smaller. But everything else, in terms of ergonomic fit in your hand and the functions of the PS5 controller, exactly the same. So if you're a PS5 fan, you know what you're in for. All right, let's talk about the thing in the middle, the screen. All right, so it is an 8-inch LCD screen. Now, on paper, that's a little bit of a bummer because all the other competitors out there are dropping their OLED screen. So we've got Steam Decks doing OLEDs, we've got Switch OLED, and yeah, in fairness, it is a lesser screen. In terms of the actual system itself, in my experience though, it's a beautiful screen. Maybe because of the closeness to the screen that you're playing from, the brightness I had it up to, maybe just simply the quality of the screen. I was very, very impressed by the picture. Even my partner walking past commented on how great the picture looked on the screen. Very, very impressive. So whilst on paper, yes, it's a lesser screen, I have no complaints over the display. It's 1080p display. I have no complaints over what this looks like. Thumbs up for me. All right, let's talk about some of the pieces that maybe don't work so well. I shouldn't say in function they don't function well, but just in terms of their placement, they're a bit awkward. So you can see underneath there, they've got the audio jack and the charging port. A little bit awkward in terms of getting your cable into the back of this. I don't know, just personally, in my experience, I just found that a little bit awkward and wish they had to put it somewhere else. I don't know where, but it just, yeah, I didn't like the positioning. Everything works fine, but could have been a better design. Might not be a killer for some, and it certainly isn't for me, but if I'm picking at things that could be better, that's one thing I think they could have done better with. All right, another important thing to talk about is the actual battery life. So at the end of the day, we want to play games on this, right? And we want to play for as long as possible. So in my experience of a complete charge, 100%, and then playing it right through to a flat, I got between 5 hours and 6 hours gameplay from the PlayStation Portal. In my opinion, that's a good amount of time. We'll talk about it a bit later, but this isn't really a system I see myself taking away from my home to play. So, and if I ever did, it's only going to be for short bursts anyway. So the idea that, you know, the battery needs to be a really long amount of time, it doesn't really matter to me. So the fact that I got 5 to 6 hours before having to charge it, I was okay with that, and for what I'm going to use it for, I'm happy with that time. All right, probably second last thing we'll talk about is just the speakers on top. So if you're playing without the headsets, I know people have been hyping up the wireless earbuds that Sony has released for the system. I was just using my Turtle Beach headsets, which plugs in through the jack. But in terms of the actual speaker, yeah, it does the job. It's serviceable. It's not going to blow your mind or anything, but they do a good job. And the last thing we want to talk about is the actual idea of this being a portable system. I mean, portable. Is this something that lends itself to being taken away from the home to play? Possibly, if that's your want. For me personally though, without there being any covers released for it yet, and the sort of the flatness of the screen and the way it sucks in fingerprints, you notice them a lot. I wouldn't want to take this out and scratch this up. Like, maybe that's just me with my tech and I want to keep it nice, but I don't know if this is necessarily as portable as they were hoping. I think it's more just an in-home device that you use to mirror when someone's using the TV, or you just want to play in another room away from your PlayStation 5. I don't see this being a real portable device. All right, so scratch that. That wasn't the last thing. Let's talk about the actual last thing is, and that's the functionality. How easy is this thing out of the box for tech noobs like me? I'm a retro gamer, so I'm not all about the tech. How easy is this to get this out of the box, set it up, hook it up with your PS5 and play? Answer, very, very easy. Straight out of the box, it's as simple as finding your Wi-Fi network, downloading the updates, installing the update. There's a QR code on the portal, camera that, find your PS5, away you go. Very easy in terms of setup. The only issue I found with the portal was that I'm here in Australia, we've got the NBN, which is the National Broadband Network. It's the best internet you can get in Australia. Now, whether Australia's internet is any good, that's a totally different argument altogether, but I've got the best we can get at the moment. Running Wi-Fi from the modem to my PS5 and then mirroring that Wi-Fi signal to my portal no like. All right, so if you find that the issues with your screen, so I had buffering issues, I had display issues in terms of resolution, I had latency issues, that almost rendered it kind of unplayable. Vaughn's having some issues with his, being that he's only got it on the Wi-Fi at the moment. The solution to that is basically you need to have your PlayStation 5 hooked up through the Ethernet cable. So from the port, straight into your PS5. Once I did that, issue's gone. Beautiful 1080p display, no latency, no buffering, beautiful. So they don't necessarily tell you that out of the box, but that's a little tip that if you are not running Ethernet to your PS5, you might not get the best out of this system. All right, guys, there you go. So that's my initial thoughts / mini review of the portal in my short time with it. At the end of the day, is this worth your money? Well, yes and no. For me, and for what I'm going to use it for, which is purely a second screen for my PS5 when my partner is using the TV or I'm away from the PS5 in another room in the house. Perfect. It does exactly what I want it to do. Is this as portable as some might want it, or does it have any other functionality other than mirroring your PS5? No, probably not. But if that's what you want it for, you're probably going to get another device like a Steam Deck anyway. In saying that though, the price point compared to those devices is about a third of the price for the really good Steam Decks. You know, they're talking the $1,000 mark. This is the $300 mark in Australia, and I was happy to pay that for what I want to use it for. I firmly believe that this is Sony's first attempt at dipping their toes into the Steam Deck market. I feel like they want to see if there's any traction they can gain in that market, and then maybe we'll see a Portal 2 that comes with network support, able to download games to the PSN, some sort of storage. I don't think it's going to carry physical games, but I do think you'll be able to in the future. This might be the first step. Like the Wii U was for the Switch, I feel like the Portal could be this same idea for the Portal 2 or the next PlayStation handheld. just my opinion. But I'm giving it thumbs up. I think it's a great piece of tech, does exactly what I wanted it to do, and I've really enjoyed my time with it. So there you go, hope that helps out. Thank you again for watching these videos. Hope you enjoyed what we're putting out. Hope that helped a little bit in helping you with your choice. We really appreciate you checking out these videos and do all that great YouTube stuff. Like, share, comment. How are you getting on with the portal? In terms of videos that's already up, we'd love you to check out our last video, and that is Vaughn's Games Room. He's done an amazing job with his games room. Killed it. It's a great space. I'd love you to check it out, give him some love, and hopefully we'll see you very soon for another Den Den Boys video together. Peace.